What's going on, guys? I don't know if anybody's gonna join this. It's early. What time is it? 11:41. I doubt it. I doubt it. Don't know if anybody's gonna see me going live. I may have to share this. Let me try sharing it. Uh, let's see if we get people in here. Hope it says I'm still live. If I share this on Twitter real quick. All right, we're cool. Oh, okay, we got people in here. All right, all right. I'm just trying to quickly share it out, guys. Share it out if you can. If you guys are here. Muzz, I want to die. Jaden, first year, what's up, bro? What's going on, guys? Football talk with Benny. What's going on, guys? I know some of you guys at school because you guys are minors. That sounds so weird to say. All right, a lot of you guys are youngins. Um, what's going on, guys? I'm currently, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I'm currently on jury duty right now. So I got a 2 hour break in jury duty. So I'm just sitting here and I just wanted to go live and talk to you guys. I guess whoever is going to be able to pop on. Are you guys in school right now? No school for me. It's election day. I'm. I don't know, man. Once you graduate high school, you don't even know. You don't even know holidays anymore. You're just alive. Like it's. You're just alive. What's going on? I got some people popping in here now. Yvette, Muzz, Jaden, Jared, Evan. Keep flowing in, guys. Keep flowing. If you guys can do me a favor and just share the stream, Mikey. What's going on, Mikey? If you, I don't want to like bother you guys, but if you guys can share the stream out, just because I'm not able to share it out because I'm just like streaming off my phone, so I'm not able to share it out. I tried to put it on Twitter real quick. Hopefully it went through. Um, I hate Joe Judgment's timeout management. I know, and then now we're talking about headsets. Like, I swear, man. Now we're talking about headsets. The quality ain't it, Chief, and that's ironic. By the way, nice car. I appreciate it. It's just a 2009 Sebring. It's nothing crazy, but I. I don't understand Giants Twitter. If you guys, I don't want to call anybody out, man, but I don't understand Giants Twitter. I'm saying, like, I'm not going to call, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to call nobody out, but you guys know who I'm talking about. But anybody that's just, like, out here, we have this loss, a loss that I think wasn't a terrible loss. I mean, I know a lot of, it's heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking, and it's going to make you very emotional, right? I don't think anybody should be screaming for. I don't think this is the game to scream for Dave Gettleman's job. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know how this was the cherry on top for Dave Gettleman to get rid of him. He literally got two young pass rushers in here that were dominating. Well, not dominating. Well, doing well most of the game, and in Aziz and Quincy Roche, and making do. We literally almost beat a Super Bowl team. Like, we literally almost beat a Super Bowl team. I don't understand why people are calling for Gettleman's job at this point. On this game, I don't understand why people are calling for Gettleman's job on this game. Gettleman was supposed to build this offensive line, but it still sucks. Although the offensive line sucks, it wasn't terrible this game. We had 2 sacks given up on the last drive. Besides that, 1 sack the whole game. Against Carolina, I don't think we had any sacks. I don't think anybody sacked us with Carolina. Maybe once. Maybe one. I think Brian Burns got to us once. But you know what I'm saying. I don't think our offensive line is. Matt Parra has been playing pretty damn well. O-line is bad. It is bad, and it is, it's also due to injury as well, guys. We lost Shane Lemieux, we lost Ben Bredesen, Billy Price is absolute trash. We lost Nick Gates, we lost Andrew Thomas. All right, so we're dealing with injuries too. I'm not going to completely blame injuries, but yeah. Okay, going to be completely honest, Judge needs to go. Many empty promises. I try to be patient with him. I want to be the guy that calms everybody down, because although I am ready to say, goodbye, Gettleman, goodbye, Judge, I'm not calling for anybody's job from this game. I don't understand why we're calling for people's jobs on this game. This game showed bad time management, okay? That's something you gotta put on Joe Judge. But this game, we were put in position to win this game. We were supposed to win this game. Well, not supposed to. We could have came out with this game. Just honestly, did anybody expect us to win this game? So I feel like everybody was already to kind of, get on Joe Joe. Because if we would have got blown out in this game, I mean, same thing, right? Yeah, I feel like the only way for us not to talk about Gettleman or Judge is if we actually won the game, and it's against Kansas City, for crying out loud. The taunting penalty was so stupid. I said this in my live stream, not live stream, my video yesterday. If anybody watched it, I said this in my video yesterday. I as a coach, as anybody, even as a player, I'm not mad at Eli Penny. I'm not. Listen, guys, taunting, trash talking, that's part of football. That's how you get yourself going. That's how a lot of these players get themselves going. That's how, that's how you get in the minds of other players. You know, it's from trash talking. It's from, banter and stuff like that. I can't get mad at Eli Penny. I have to get mad on the stupid rule that is taunting penalties, and John Mara being at the forefront of making that rule possible, because John Mara, the owner of the New York Giants, is pretty much, the head guy of that owners committee. So pretty much any rule that gets put into place, I'm pretty sure he's the one that's even pitched it or was part of the majority vote on that rule being placed. So John Mara, I'm pretty sure, is responsible for this taunting rule that pretty much shot his foot. I can't get mad at Eli Penny. I know at the end of the day, people want to get, mad and say Eli Penny was stupid for that. He literally pointed for the first down, guys. He pointed for the first down. The player went across his face and he said something to him. Come on, guys. I mean, you guys can't get mad at him for that. It's football. It's football. We talk trash and flag football, for crying out loud. I mean, come on. This is a competitive sport. This is a sport where you got grown men hitting each other at full speed, and you're telling me you're supposed to get up and just walk away? I mean, how do you get yourself motivated? How do you keep the motor running? One of the biggest things that scouts look for in NFL scouting, when it comes to college players, is high motor, right? High motor. A guy that can play, 100% from the first quarter all the way through the fourth quarter. And you can't do that without pumping yourself up. And other people have their own ways of pumping themselves up. And that could be, trash talking or whatever, getting yourself, talking yourself into it. I can get if you're trash talking, calling each other like crazy names, like derogatory names, and you got pushing and shoving, and this is a guy that has multiple effects. It's Eli Penny. He doesn't get any opportunity. He made a really good play to get us a first down on third down, to get us moving the ball. He's barely on the field. He made a great play, and he points a first down and talks like a sentence and gets called 15 yards. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. My era in football was talking and making your opponent... Exactly, Jaden. You get in the heads of the opposing players. And how stupid, how ridiculous was that ESPN cast? It's just absolutely unnecessary. Obviously, they're paid to defend the NFL. They can't really call a rule stupid or anything like that. So they have to kind of defend it. The NFL's writing their checks, or ESPN rather. But at the same time, you can't blame Eli Penny for that. You can't say he was irresponsible. You can't say he was unnecessarily ridiculous. But people do it all the time. You guys play video games, don't you? Don't you guys talk trash when you guys winning in video games? Come on, man. I sound like Biden. Oh, God. Come on, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm ticked. You see Ingram getting traded. He has interest. I think it might go through, but guys, at this point of Ingram's career, if we didn't trade him in 2018 after his rookie year, I mean, he was a first round pick, so not like he was going to be traded, but I was calling for him to be traded at that point. At this point, his value is so low. Evan Ingram's value is so low at this point. It's probably not more than a 6th, 7th round pick. Probably not more than a 6th, 7th round pick. And it may be even next year's pick. Who knows? We got a lot of picks this draft. I don't think anybody should be complaining about this draft. And maybe if you guys have your own reserve thoughts on Dave Gettleman, you don't want him to be drafting. But we're in good position this year as far as draft capital goes. We have a lot of draft picks. Let's see. Washington, Atlanta were both winnable. Yeah, that's what really pissing me off. That's what really pissing me off, because we really made this think about it, guys. This Kansas City Chiefs went to the Super Bowl 2 straight years, won one of them, lost the other one, And we're expecting this New York Giants team to here and make this Chiefs game a must-win game. Like, this is a game that we must win against a team like this. We put ourselves, I mean, this team put themselves in that position, so you really can't blame anybody but the New York Giants for that. It's just, it's crazy that we lose the Washington game, we lose the Atlanta game, and we're forced to make this game a win, like a must-win game. If we would have won those two games, we would be sitting right now at 4-4. We would be sitting right now at 4-4 if we'd have lost this game. And I would have been okay. I would have been okay if we lost this game. If we were 4-4 and I would have lost, and we would have lost the game 20-17. We're looking so great for the future, especially losing to a team like that. And those dumb penalties gave them the win. Thanks a lot, Giants. Yeah. The Chiefs have some dumb penalties, guys. We can't even just blame the penalties, guys. We can't blame the penalties. We gotta blame execution. Let's not just blame the penalties like O'Shane and the dropped interceptions. Like, we can't just blame that. We gotta blame it on execution throughout the whole game. Although we played great, we still only put 17 points on the board against a terrible Chiefs defense. One that plays man defense was Daniel Jones is supposed to be a specialty, but receivers couldn't get off the line. You got to remember the Chiefs also had penalties. The Chiefs had over 100 yards in penalties, guys. They had like 12 penalties over 110 yards. All right? They had a lot of penalties too. We can't blame it on penalties. You got to blame it on execution. Yeah, Joseph, execution. I wish I could highlight. I hate YouTube live streams, man. I wish I was on StreamYard. Who do we play next? The Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders who are scoring 30 points per game. 30 points per game since John Gruden left. So they destroy the Eagles and they destroy the team prior. I don't know who that team was. I can't remember. But we play the Raiders, and then we go to Tampa Bay. I will be at that game. Anybody going to that game? I know Bobby Skinner's going. Let's see if I can meet him up. I'm not. Me and Bobby are pretty cool. I'm not really close with him, so let's see if he allows me in his inner circle. That face mask call at the end last night was wrong. Yeah, and man, like, I don't want to rant about refs. I really don't want to rant about refs, man. But man, I'm not even gonna get into it. I'll just say one thing. It's hard for any team that's an underdog in a game at a loud stadium, away on the road, facing a former Super Bowl team, a team that's made it 2 straight Super Bowls, and you're playing not only that team, but you're playing the refs who are 50-year-old men, 50 and over year old men, just depending on those old eyes, and they're pretty much seeing stuff that never existed. Travis Kelce got an easy penalty there. Makes no sense. The face mask penalty. Let's see. I'd love to see some offensive players back. See what a stocked. Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, man. If we had Andrew Thomas, like, I hate playing that. My whole time on YouTube, besides the 2016 season, the whole time on YouTube, I'm playing the moral victory game. I'm playing the what if game. I hate playing the what if game, man. I don't want to play what ifs anymore. I just want to win. I just want to win. I don't want to play the what if games anymore. It's like, and I don't blame anybody for going into that. It's like, okay, what if we had Andrew Thomas back? What if we had Kadarius Toney the whole game and he was not 100%, but just healthy, because it looked like he was hobbled that whole game, and then he hurt his thumb? What if Sterling Shepard played the whole game? What if Kenny Golladay was in the game? What if we had a full healthy offensive line and Nick Gates in the game? What if Jabril Peppers was in the game? It's like so many what ifs. I hate playing this game. I hate playing this game. I think we can pry a fourth from Green Bay. See, you're actually, Mike, you're right. You're right when it comes to, you think we can get a fourth. I think because they're a team that wants to win now. They're a desperate team that just lost Tunyon, and they feel like they can still win games and while bringing up Evan Ingram. So they may overpay for. If we get a fourth, holy moly, I'll be so happy. If we get a fourth in this draft, you guys know how many draft picks we have in this draft? We have a lot. And I think we got most of them are early picks. Well, early to mid. I don't think there's a lot of late round picks like the past 2 years. Fire Judge and Gettleman. I don't. It's a therapy session, so I'll let you guys talk how you guys want to. I don't think this game really warrants us to fire Dave Gettleman. I mean, other games absolutely, but I don't think this is the game to get mad about. And Judge has been saying that his headset issues causing. Yeah, that seems like an excuse. Like Joe Judge really, really. I don't know if it's true or not. Okay, but have I ever seen them on the sidelines messing with the headsets, screaming, saying the headsets aren't working? And you would think we're 8 games into this season, and Joe Judge would have made some sort of vocalization about the headsets way before the 8th game of the season, and let the press know, let the public know that the lack of time management, as we thought it was, were due to bad headsets, and we had to, call timeouts. You would think 8 games in the season, he would have made this known way before. I'm getting an influx here on viewers. I appreciate everybody joining in. Diggy in the building. What's going on? He said, I'll trade Slayton right now for a 2027 6th round pick. 2027 6th round pick? Why not? Maybe a 7th rounder. Then I think the compensation is good. I still think we're overpaying. I still think they'll be overpaying whoever would take them. But yeah, I definitely think. I'll tell you right now, I would definitely trade. So I think Slayton would have been a good trade target. But first, we have no depth on this team, and so we kind of need Slayton. I know that's crazy to say. We kind of need Slayton. And on top of that, he hasn't gotten much playing time, so he's not going to get a lot of. We're not going to get a lot for him. I'm telling you, the only guy we can get anything for right now, is Evan Ingram. Like, you would think this team ready to be, a rebuilding team again, that we would be sellers and we'll be selling everything. Like, we don't have anybody to sell. The guys on big contracts right now are getting paid big cap money right now. And their dead cap is too much, way too much. Unless, I don't know how it works, man, but unless we can find a way where the team that takes on his contract pays that dead cap or pays that guaranteed money so that we don't have to pay him. You said you're on jury duty. I think the guy is guilty. Throw him away. I'm just kidding. I know, I was just like, because I'm on break right now. For anybody that hasn't been keeping up with me, I'm on a 2-hour lunch break. That I just got an hour lunch break on jury duty. So I'm just sitting in my car waiting to go back in. But yeah, I was just saying I wanted to send somebody to jail and just start yelling out he's guilty. He's guilty. Show up in a Batman suit or something. I want justice. Justice. Who would be the judge of that? I wonder. Played as well as possible, just didn't have enough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't. What's the case? I don't know. I'm sitting in the weight room. There's 3 active court cases going on right now, and I'm just sitting waiting to be called. I'm just like sitting in a weight room full of like 50 other jurors waiting to be called. Prison Mike, he may be in the court case right now. Let's see. Like I said before, the Chiefs weren't even that good. They just won on Giants penalties. I know. But the thing is, the Chiefs, first of all, were the better team coming out. Now, we cannot say the Giants were the better team coming out. But we have to capitalize on mistakes. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in general made a lot of mistakes in this game as well. And you have to cut it down to who made the most mistakes and also who executed and took advantage of the other team's mistakes, and we just didn't do that. Jared, Kid Blue, by the way, how you doing, buddy? I'm doing okay. I'm a little out of it because I knew I was going to jury duty, and I really wanted to get some, like, I don't know, because I wanted to win this game. I knew we weren't going to win this game, but I had slight hope. You know, Giants fans, us Giants fans, we always talk all this crap about how our team sucks and everybody sucks, fire everybody, but we always get our butts in those seats and then in our couches hoping for this Giants to pull off the win. Our hearts are pumping. We're nervous. We're biting our nails. We're on the verge of tears, just for us to be let down. And for what? Like, we should have been. We should have never came into this game expecting anything. But here I am now at jury duty. I'm currently an hour away from my home. I had to wake up at 6 in the morning. I left my house at about 7. I had bought a Wawa sandwich the day prior for this day, so I was eating my sandwich on the way over here. I never been to this side of town before. It's totally in a whole different direction from what I'm used to. It's on the other side of Orlando. So I don't know. I'm far from home right now, and I'm sad and heartbroken and tired, and I'm just want to go to sleep. By all means, Devontae Booker played good last night. He did. He stepped up. He stepped up in a big way. He ran the ball a lot better. And check this out. The run blocking for the offensive line didn't look any different. Devontae Booker just looked more, I guess you could say, confident. Devontae Booker, these past couple of weeks, since he's been a New York Giant, just never looked confident when he was running. Like, he always second-guessed himself when running through a hole, when there was a gap, that was about to close up. He looked so much. I think that was definitely the key there, Mike. It was confidence for Devontae Booker. He just looked more angry running the ball. He looked more determined to get downfield. Did a great job in the passing game. Fantastic job in the passing game. That was the worst I've ever seen the Chiefs play since they got Mahomes. We still lost. No positives from that game. You can't say no positive, J-Dog. I mean, it's okay to be a heartbroken, depressed Giants fan like I am right now. It's okay to be that. And trust me, I'm a guy about moral victories. I'm not, trust me, I am the last guy you're gonna see talk about moral victories, because I hate that. I hate that. Even in my flag football games, I can't stand moral victories. But at the same time, did we really expect to win this game? And if not, you didn't expect to win this game, what outcome did you expect? Because I'm pretty sure everybody expected a 20-point marginal blowout, right? Everybody expected that. We came within this close to winning the game. There's really not much you can be mad at besides the lack of execution at the end of the game. I mean, there's not much to be mad at. I'm looking at Giants Twitter, and people are going off on Dave Gettleman. What the hell did he do in this game? I'm pretty sure he didn't even travel for this game. Let's just say this. There are plenty of other games you guys can want to fire Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman on. There are plenty other games. This is not the one. This is not the one. I'm to the point now where I'm just curious what this team is going to do at the end of the season. Ramdre, that is a great question. This offseason for the Giants is going to be a very interesting one, and it's one that's going to be I'm going to be pumping a lot of content at the end of the season. We're going to see a lot of things change. I'm talking coaching changes, GM changes, front office changes, maybe scouting changes, definitely the player changes. Definitely things are going to be happening. Things are going to be shifting next season. But do I really, like, although I'm happy that things are going to be changing, are they going to be for the better? Are these changes going to be for the better? Because I do not have any confidence in our ownership at all. John Mara has been one of the worst owners since Tom Coughlin has left. You could argue since right before Tom Coughlin left, because I believe Tom Coughlin was a well-coached football team, but towards the end, Tom Coughlin, if you guys don't remember, became like a conservative, scared, play not to lose coach that would take field goals at the 5-yard line and never go for it on 4th down, and he lost his thunder. And ever since the end of Tom Coughlin's era, John Mara has been doing a terrible job at getting this football team afloat. Because at the end of the day, you could blame Joe Judge, who's at the bottom of this. You could blame Dave Gettleman. You can blame scouting and all the other GMs in the department, like assistant GMs, whatever. At the end of the day, it stems from the source. It's from ownership. Ownership. John Mara. He's the one that gets the GM in the building. Therefore, that's how the GM and the coaches get here and stuff like that. It's all on John Mara. It's all on John Mara, and we have to get this football team right. We have to get this football team right. It's not, although I love my Knicks, I love my New York Knicks. It's a damn shame that the Knicks look amazing right now, and the Giants look like utter crap. I'm a football fan before I'm a basketball fan, so I prefer the Giants to be a lot better. I'll take another Knicks losing season all day for the Giants to be good again. That's just me. I'm a football fan before I'm a Knicks fan. We should do some collabs this offseason, do some draft content. Yeah, we'll see. I'll be doing a lot of live streams, especially, so I'll definitely have you on those, Mike. We'll do some mock drafts together. Always love having you on the streams. Who are your head coaching replacements? God only knows, man. If Joe Judge departs, I am not going to sit here and say that Joe Judge deserves to be fired yet after 2 years, because I can't, because if the only thing you guys have to say is Joe Judge's time management is bad, then that's not enough to fire him. He's a first-time head coach. You guys have to go through these pain and growth pains for a guy to get, right with coaching. You just can't. You can't fire a second-year ever head coach because it's time management and he calls timeouts when he shouldn't. That's such a stupid reason to fire a second-year head coach. But especially that he's the special teams guy, so he's not really responsible for the offense or defense. But this team does fight for him. They do fight for him. So I wouldn't want to fire Joe Judge yet, and that means I would want to keep Dave Gettleman another year to see how it goes. One more year, guys. One more year. Just wait one more year. One more. Please. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But okay, head coach candidates. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. Head coach candidates. The only one I'm really considering right now. A lot of people say Joe Brady. I can't believe anybody says Joe Brady, Carolina offensive coordinator. Their offense looks worse than ours. My guy is Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator for the Bills. Like, this is a guy that has always had a decent offense, even without going off. Like, he's always had a decent offense. Even going, I don't know if he was there during the Tyrod Taylor days, but even Tyrod Taylor with the Bills wasn't terrible. Like, they had a decent offense. I would want to get Brian Daboll in here as a head coach and have him call plays as well. Be a head coach that calls plays. That's the only guy I'm really looking at. I know a lot of people say Eric Bieniemy, but I'm really curious to know if Eric Bieniemy is that overrated, because look where the Chiefs are right now. When these fantastic Hall of Fame type players are not doing well. How are they adjusting? Why keep Dave Gettleman? He's a disaster. Because I don't want to let go. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to let go of Joe Judge yet. And I'm not a guy that's going to stand for Joe Judge. He has his problems. I can't get rid of Joe Judge based on the fact that his time management is bad. He's a second-year head coach. But if I want to get rid of a GM, I have to get rid of the coach. And unfortunately, I want to see what we have in Joe Judge, so I don't want to get rid of anybody yet. I want to wait one more year to see if they can get it going. I promise you, I'm the first one to talk about buffer. Am I buffering? I'm sorry, Jared, am I buffering? Or are you just putting symbols in there? I promise you, I will be the first one to want Dave Gettleman, Joe Judge gone next year if the team is still terrible. But I want to give them one more year. It's call me crazy. I want to give them one more year. I'm sorry. Everybody talked about how they were on board with Joe Judge, and the fact that we're having a bad season right now in Joe Judge's second year, and they're automatically off the bandwagon, just tells me emotion. I know everybody's emotional. I'm emotional about this team, you know, but I'm not gonna base off of impulse. I want to wait one more year, because I mean, is Kevin Abrams gonna be any better? You saw John Mara talking to Louis Riddick last night. You saw it. Yeah, I don't think you guys want Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick, for those of you guys that hate the Saquon pick, he also would have got Saquon. He wanted Dwayne Haskins. He didn't want Andrew Thomas. I forgot who he wanted. Who did he want? Who did he want in that draft? I can't remember. I don't think he wanted Andrew Thomas. What GM is going to want to come here or cash try to build it? Yeah, that's another thing. GMs are just not going to want to be here. The only thing that they got going for them is that they potentially have a franchise quarterback. So GMs are attracted to teams that they don't have to find a franchise quarterback for, because that's just one of the hardest things to do as a GM. Anyways, got to go. Lunch break is over. Got to go back to work later. Kid Blue, good seeing you, my friend. Thank you for coming in, Jared. I appreciate you, man, on your lunch break. I appreciate that, man. Have a good one, Jared. Isaiah Simmons. So Landon wanted. He wanted. Louis Riddick wanted Isaiah Simmons. Louis Riddick would be a terrible GM for us. Absolutely terrible GM. And you got to think that he's a guy that may be a GM for us. Kevin Abrams could be a guy that could be a GM for us. Like, what are our options, guys? Legitimately. I know everybody hates Dave Gettleman, but I may make a video on this. I'll make a video on this tonight about Dave Gettleman and kind of explain further what I mean, because I know a lot of people are instantly going to disregard me, call me crazy, call me a stand for Dave Gettleman. Dave Gettleman apologized. I mean, I've been called it all at this point. Exactly, Eric. I feel like if Dave Gettleman addresses the offensive line and defensive line heavy in this draft and potentially free agency, even though we're cash strapped, then I think all will be made. I think all will be forgiven. I really do think that. And if the offensive line actually does well, I think all will be forgiven. We damn know Louis Riddick not an option. I don't know, man. I don't know, Taj World. I feel like Louis Riddick is a little closer to this organization than I initially thought, because he's being invited to Giants media sessions, during the offseason almost every year, even though he was a former GM candidate. Like, what the hell is he doing? Doing videos with the New York Giants media. And he was seen talking to John Mara last night on the sideline. Like, what the hell is John Mara even doing on the freaking field talking to Louis Riddick? What is Louis Riddick doing on the field? He should be in the press box the whole day. He shouldn't be on the field. But they were out there talking to each other last night, smiling and laughing. I don't have a good feeling about it, man. I don't have a good feeling. Dave Gettleman hasn't improved the O-line in 4 years. I completely agree, J-Dog. I completely agree. But now that the fact that we have somewhat of a decent roster, healthy, I think he can finally focus on the offensive line. Trust me, people are going to call me crazy, but I want to keep Dave Gettleman one more year. One more year. I'm not a Dave Gettleman stan as I used to be, but I can't see this team turn into the Cleveland Browns, where we've just hire and fire people every 2 years. I just can't see it. I don't want that to be my team. If we made a hire, we better stick with it. If we were confident in these, like Joe Judge can be great. It's not like Joe Judge can't be great. He can be great. But if you fire Dave Gettleman, you gotta fire Joe Judge. You can't do things ass backwards. You cannot keep the GM, and that's what I keep seeing or hearing in these Twitter spaces, that these, famous, I guess, Giants content creators or Giants, media presence or media analysts on Twitter or whatever, keep doing these Twitter spaces talking about just rambling and bashing Dave Gettleman for good reason, bashing Dave Gettleman. But then they go out and say, but I want to keep Joe Judge. I just want to keep Joe. I understand that. But you cannot say you want to get rid of the GM and then keep the coach. Have you guys not learned anything from this Giants team in the past 5-6 years? Have you not learned anything? You can't keep half of your regime. You got to get rid of the whole thing. You got to tear it down. When a house burns down, they don't just build the other half back. They knock that whole thing over and they build again. Okay? When a house burns down, they knock the whole thing down and they build again. All right? They don't keep the rubble that survived and then build from that. Just saying. Just saying. They start again. So the offense showed some explosive flashes, but not much because of the offensive line. I would even say that. I guess you're half right there, Taj World. But I got to give it to the defensive backs for Kansas City. They play a man defense, and that's bold. They play press man, and which is what we should be doing. They play press man, and they were locking down Kadarius, Sterling, Slayton. They were locking all of those guys down. All of those guys they were locking down. So I agree the offensive line was not fantastic, but it wasn't bad either. The offensive line only gave up 1 sack throughout the majority of the game. The final 2 sacks were on that terrible drive. The final drive with 1 minute 7 seconds left. I said this in the stream. If you guys tuned into the stream, I didn't have any confidence in that team moving down the field. I just didn't. If you looked at the end of the first half, we also moved backwards with 2 minutes left. So, NYG Jeffy, what's going on, man? What's going on? Keep your comments rolling, guys. Keep your comments rolling. Just trying to burn time here. Gettleman put a roster that should be 5-3. That's mostly bad. Thank you. Oh my god, I wish I could pin this comment. I can't do it. I hate YouTube streaming. Thank you, George. Thank you. Dave Gettleman put on paper. Dave Gettleman put a good roster. I get the offensive line. That's the one thing I cannot understand why he did that to the offensive line. I think it's partly due to pride. Definitely. But Dave Gettleman put a good roster together. We're just not executing. You're not executing. You can put 5 of the best players in the league together in like basketball terms, right? For basketball, you can put the best starting 5 out there. But if they don't execute, they look like trash. And then you're looking at the GM like, hey, why aren't they working? Well, I don't know. I provided their weapons. I provided all these guys. It's not my fault they're not working. Look at the coaches. Gotta say, that's a great comment. It's something I've been trying to talk about forever, and nobody's been believing me. The GM, people put so much on the GM. I know a lot of people either don't put enough blame on the GM or they put too much blame on the GM. There's never an equal balance. You cannot blame what did Dave Gettleman do in this game that you got to fire Dave Gettleman for? What did he do in this game that he got to fire Dave Gettleman for? Half of our team is injured. How is that Dave Gettleman's fault? All right? Those penalties, the lack of execution, the dropped interceptions, how is that Dave Gettleman's fault? All of those guys have proved to be good ball hawks in the past, like Adoree Jackson, like James Bradbury, and they're dropping interceptions. How is that Dave Gettleman's fault? He's just going by what he scouted for. I don't understand. I'm sick and tired of all these injury-prone players on this team and underperforming guys. Yeah, that's one thing I will also criticize Dave Gettleman for. He puts this team in position to be unsuccessful towards the midway of the season because he provides a lot of players that get hurt a lot. Like, you look at our wide receiving core. I said it in the offseason why I didn't want Kenny Golladay. I wanted Kenny Golladay towards the end. Don't get me wrong, because the talks were heating up. But Allen Robinson was my pick, not Kenny Golladay, because Kenny Golladay is injury prone. He gets hurt a lot, so I didn't want Kenny Golladay. Especially putting him in with a Sterling Shepard who's had like 3 concussions in his career and plenty of hamstring injuries, and that remained true. Darius Slayton, who's missed the start of two of his past seasons. He's missed the start of both seasons. Let's see. Kadarius Toney has had injury problems in the past. Yeah, and I think that's all but that's like our starting 4. That's our 4 wide receivers, our 4 top wide receivers. You're like automatically putting your team in position to use your depth automatically. So, yeah. Get rid of Slayton, Shepard, Ingram, Barkley, Zimenez, Carter, Shelton. If we could, Galladay, Hernandez, Pettis, everyone on the damn line besides Thomas, Rudolph, Martinez, all the linebacking core. Yeah, I agree. If we can, if we do totally reset this team, I'd like to reset the roster as well and start building again, try to keep our key pieces. Because you're right, I love Sterling Shepard, but he gets hurt too much. I'm not paying a guy $11 million a year to get hurt. For him to be, leaving games early all the time, pulling his hamstring on a regular old cut. I don't know how Kenny Golladay doesn't care of himself. What do you mean? Anyone not part of the future needs to go. Yep. I think the only one really part of the future is Kadarius, Daniel Jones, Andrew Thomas, Azeez Ojulari, and maybe Dexter Lawrence. That's pretty much it. Nobody's really, really bound to this team besides those guys that I mentioned. Yeah, Thomas, Toney, and maybe Jones. But then I like Azeez too. I think Azeez could be a franchise player too. He's just got to get a lot better with his hands. The bright spots are DJ Thomas, John Ross, KT, Azeez, and Dex. I'm surprised about John Ross this season, man. He's been given more opportunities than the Bengals ever gave him. The Bengals drafted him in the first round and never put him on the field. Like, you can't teach speed, man. At the end of the day, you cannot teach speed. What up, Big Play Slay? What up, man? I know you saw the game last night. Why weren't you in the stream, bro? Why weren't you in our stream? Surprisingly, KB is live early. Yeah, I'm currently doing jury duty, man. Currently on jury duty. I have an hour break. Still got 45 minutes to go. I was on a 2-hour break, but he's injury prone too. Slay having time of his life last night. Which Slay? I don't know, man. These injury prone guys are driving me nuts. Yep, I agree. Most of our receiving core is banged up right now. Yep, I mean, also keep Matt Perry. I agree. I would like to keep Matt Perry. He's been doing a really good job at left tackle so far. But we need him to be at right tackle, so I didn't want to piss you off more than you already were. Trust me, I would have talked smack, but we're not good either. I know there was a couple of Eagles fans that just popped up out of nowhere, and I instantly shut them down. You're absolutely right, Big Play Slay. As soon as the Eagles fans popped up in here to laugh at us, I instantly shut them down and just said, you guys are garbage. You guys got blown out to the Chiefs, so shut up. But congrats on your win to Detroit. Perry's a good swing tackle. although right now he's playing a swing tackle role for this team, I think he's better than the swing tackle. I honestly think he could start. He could start. But he's got to play good at right tackle. I mean, he's played his best ball at left tackle, but he's got to play well at right tackle. Joe Judge, clock management is a disaster too. I know it is. Trust me, I know. But I really can't fire a second year head coach because of time management. Like that's all something that eventually comes to a coach as he progresses as a head coach. You know, those are rookie mistakes. Although he's technically not a rookie head coach, he's still new at head coaching. He's always been in the sidelines when it comes to this stuff and not really been involved in time management. He's only been able to watch Belichick or whatever, but he's never been able to make the calls himself. So you got it. He's a second-year head coach ever. He's never been a head coach anywhere else ever. So you guys gotta give him some slack there. For those that want Joe Judge gone, you can't want him gone on time management. He's a second-year head coach. Calm down. Oh, we got a little influx of viewers in here. I appreciate you guys joining in. If you guys are enjoying the stream so far, please hit that like button. Helps out the channel a lot. Just going live here. I got jury duty. Oh, I almost dropped the phone on my face. I hope I didn't just... Oh, God. You guys see the inside of my car. My bad. I almost dropped the phone on my face. Tony is a glitch. He's been a minute since I've seen a player of his caliber and speed. Oh, we saw it last night. Tony versus Tyreek Hill. I mean, they were basically put on the same plays in this game. It was a copycat league. We saw Tony being motioned the same way that Tyreek Hill was being motioned. It's hilarious. It's hilarious seeing it because we never saw Kadarius Toney on those pre-snap motions, the type of pre-snap motion that he was put on. But in this game, they did it. I think that was hilarious. I think that was a little bit of either paying homage to Tyreek Hill and our offense respecting Kansas City's offense, or we're just saying, screw you, we're taking your stuff. And we're going to show you what we've seen on film, and we're going to do it even better. Not that we did do it even better, but... DJ outplayed Mahomes. That's a win for us. I wouldn't necessarily say he outplayed Mahomes. I think they pretty much had a fair battle between each other. I know Mahomes threw some terrible passes, but I wouldn't necessarily say he played better than Mahomes. But Smith has something over Tony. He had 100 against Kansas City, and KT didn't. Whatever, big play Slay. Whatever. I'll give you that. The Gaming Ant says we only need an O-line and we would have the best offense. I think we're a little ways away from that. I mean, we do need an O-line, but we need consistent, healthy wide receivers, and I think we can keep it going. I would stick with Devontae Booker or Gary Brightwell or whatever. I'll sacrifice that and then have a consistent. Consistent. The Giants really didn't use Tony. His thumb injury didn't help. Yeah, absolutely right. That thumb injury wasn't fun. Devontae Smith wasn't injured the previous weeks before and injured at the end of the game, so that's why he did better. Smith had like 5 or 6 catches against Kansas City, still 100. Please don't tell me Louis Riddick's going to be the next GM. I don't know, man. I don't know. I tell you right now, we were just talking about it earlier. Everybody wants to see Dave Gettleman gone, but you guys will cry if you guys get Louis Riddick. He wanted Isaiah Simmons over Andrew Thomas. He wanted Dwayne Haskins over Daniel Jones. I think for those of you guys that hate the Saquon pick, he wanted Saquon. Like, Louis Riddick is not the guy. And for those that you say, well, I want anybody as long as it's not Dave Gettleman, that's a stupid comment. No to Louis Riddick. Keep him as far away as the Giants. I know. I hope so. But he was talking to John Mara last night, and they were having a ball. They were laughing together. So, did John Mara release? Yes. There is a picture on Twitter of them talking last night on the field. First of all, what is the owner doing on the field, and what is Louis Riddick doing on the field? He's supposed to be in the press box. What are they doing on the field? That means they probably had a preconceived sort of pre-planned meeting, and they're like, "Hey, let's talk downstairs." I don't want to. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to speculate, but it's not. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. You guys don't want to hire from within. Well, there's your guy. I'm guessing Pettis is out for the season. Shepard on IR, and I hope Tony didn't tear any ligaments or break his finger. Is Shepard really on IR already? I think Pettis is gone too. Daniel Jones needs to run more. Yeah, they're not using him on design runs anymore because they don't want to see Daniel Jones get hurt. That's just my take on it. Every time Daniel Jones has gotten hurt, it's always been him running the ball. I would never want a guy who worked on ESPN. I know, and on top of that, he's terrible. And like at least John Gruden was good at announcing on ESPN. If my Eagles fire Roseman, I want Ed Dodds, the assistant GM of the Colts. I'm gunning for him. I'd say he's the best GM in the class of GMs this year. Now, I don't really know if he's making the decisions of being a GM with the Colts because he's an assistant GM. So I don't really know how much of that is the real GM. And maybe Ed Dodds. Maybe you want Ed Dodds because he's learned. Maybe he's learned from the Colts, and maybe he's gonna take that philosophy to the Eagles. I wouldn't mind if a guy like that comes to the Giants either. A guy that builds the defensive line, builds the offensive line, gets great run-stuffing linebackers to stop the run, and kind of builds that team from the inside out. I don't like that Wentz trade, though. That Wentz trade was kind of ridiculous, but I think that was a Frank Reich thing more than anything. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a guy like Ed Dodds for GM. But like I said, I don't really know what candidates are really out there. I'm not really into the big world of assistant GMs and GMs of other teams, so I don't really know who's on the market right now. I'm playing Madden now to know what it's like to win again. I need to buy Madden 22. I don't want to buy it though. Is it on Game Pass? Is it on Xbox Game Pass? Because I do want to play Madden, but I don't want to buy that game. That game looks like garbage. I just want to play a Madden game, though. I always say I want to do a connected franchise, and I always wind up starting it, and I never finish it, so I can't even promise that for you guys. Because I want to build the team my way, but I doubt it. I doubt I'll get to that. Head coach Judge says headsets went out. What do you think? I think here's the thing. I think it's a half-truth. I think it's actually happening, but I don't think it's a big a deal that they're saying that, oh, it's the reason why we're calling these timeouts, we can't get anything going, la la la, because they definitely would have made that more vocal to the press and to the fans a lot sooner, and they would have let us know, hey, we're having these issues, and by making it public, by making it a public thing, you're therefore forcing the NFL to do something about it, because now it's in the public, and now the fans and the media are going to be questioning the NFL. Why aren't you doing anything about this? There is a team, or maybe even multiple teams with headset issues. You need to fix this. So going to public with it was probably the best decision. But why do you wait till 8? He said this has been happening at every stadium, everywhere he goes, in every game. Okay, if that's the case, we're 8 games in. You would think by the second or third time by now, you're like, hey, this is becoming a reoccurring issue. Maybe I should make this public and tell the NFL about this to get this done. Why is it that you wait till you're 2-6 to make this happen, and then people are calling for your job right now because you can't make, sound decisions with time management? So I think it's a half-truth. I don't think it's a big a deal as they're saying, but because if it was that urgent, you would have made this a public issue much before. Much before. Let me see the time, okay. What's going on, Miz? What's going on? Do you think we make any trades at the deadline? I think we end up standing pat. I want to see us be sellers, but there's nothing really to sell besides Evan Ingram. You can't sell Jabril Peppers because he's on IR now. You can't sell any of our bigger players because they're on big contracts with a lot of dead money. You just can't. So the only person we can really sell is Evan Ingram. That's it. That is it. Unless you want to sell Dexter Lawrence. You can sell Dexter Lawrence. But I don't know if you guys want to do that. Do you all believe me now when I was ranting about we need weapons, we needed O-line? Oh, trust me, I've been on that. I've been on that since the beginning, Miz. You're preaching to the choir, man. We need to trade Evan Ingram badly. A few hours left to the deadline. I think it's gonna happen, but don't expect any big conversation, guys. I know Mike Nixon said earlier we may push out a 4th round pick from the Packers because they're really interested and they're a team that really wants to win now. So we may get a team to bite a 4th round pick on Evan Ingram, but it's way too late for that to be a reasonable price because I mean if we would have sold him in 2018, 2019, he definitely would have went for like a 3rd or 4th just because of his potential and him being still on a rookie contract. But kid looking preppy. I'm doing jury duty right now, Miz, so I'm just on break. Going live, little therapy session while I'm on break. No online, Jeff. It's just short another season. I'll take anything for a player on this team that won't be here long term. Yeah, I know. It's just hard. It's just hard to get a team to actually do it because you see a lot of these. You still see a lot of good players being traded for 6th round, 7th round picks. Look at Marcus Golden. Look at Marcus Golden. I think we sold. I think we I don't like saying selling, but I think we traded Marcus Golden for like a 6th, 7th round pick. You know, so he has like 6 sacks right now from his Cardinals. I'm ready to send Galladay pack in too. We can't. It's too much debt. That's what I was saying. The only person we really could sell is Evan Ingram. You really can't name another name we could sell. We don't have anybody else to trade. Galladay has too much dead money. Yep. We had to pay that dead money out before he leaves, so it's not fun. Unless I don't know how it works, but unless we can get a team to pay his dead money, but I don't think that's gonna happen. KB, who should the Giants trade? Evan Ingram was someone everyone was looking at, but he did good last night. I mean, he had 3 catches for 15 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he really didn't do much. He just caught the ball when he needed to. I don't know if that's the standard we're going by now, Wild Child, but he's the only one we could trade. There's no. You guys could put any name out there that's on the Giants roster right now. We're not going to be able to trade them, or it's probably stupid to trade them. Like people will probably throw out freaking Andrew Thomas or something like that. Hell no. Hell no. Trade Darius for a Kit Kat bar. I'll take it. I could use some chocolate right now. Selling Shepard for Operation Game. Oh, I didn't realize he had those stats. Yeah, he only had 3 catches, 15 yards. So trade O'Shane Zimenez for a garbage can. I don't even think we'll get that. Green Bay and Buffalo both want Ingram, get a 4th. Yeah, we can just sell to the highest bidder. I'm happy that 2 potentially Super Bowl teams want Evan Ingram because that's perfect. That's perfect for us. That is definitely perfect for us. That means we can sell to the highest bidder, and we're definitely going to get some overpayment. Louis Riddick beacons the new general manager. What happened to Joe Judge? I don't know, but things will go downhill if Louis Riddick is our next GM. I already talked about it like 3 times already on the stream, and I will cry if Louis Riddick is our next GM. Kid Blue, get rid of Shepard. I would. Just no team would trade for him. We'll have to release him at the end of the season. I love Sterling Shepard. Don't get me wrong. I love Sterling Shepard, but man, he gets injured too much. He gets injured too much, man. Give Ingram, he's become a better blocker. Give Ingram credit. Yeah, I get that, but I mean, he's a former 1st round pick, and he's not a factor anymore. He's never really. I guess you could say he used to be a factor. He's just not a great one. Like you look at T.J. Hawkinson, another first round tight end. He's great. He's like the biggest. He's like the best weapon on that team. And Evan Ingram's supposed to be that, being a first round pick, and he's not. He's not. It's hilarious how many people are blaming Jones. Yeah, it's hilarious how many people are blaming Jones. It's hilarious how many people are Dave Gettleman's job right now. Like Dave Gettleman had anything to do with this game. This game was pure execution. If anything, Dave Gettleman should be applauded because he really put a team together that is injury prone and everything to really compete against a Super Bowl team like Kansas City, and come 3 points short of winning. If anything, Dave Gettleman should be given credit. Kid, watch Ingram go somewhere else and be a star. Huh, Miz, I'm already thinking about it, Miz. I was literally already thinking about it. Him in a Buffalo Bills uniform or him in a Green Bay uniform, and just going off. Just being used the way he was supposed to be used. Because we don't use him that way. Whatever way he's supposed to be used. Drag routes, crossing routes, you know. We don't use him like that. After the pick DJ threw, he got us to the red zone. We sucked in the red zone. Yeah, I know. Through two red zone TDs, which is very happy. Both to our tight ends, which I like. I love utilizing the tight ends in the red zone, so I'm happy about that. I can't ever have timeouts. Last thing. I know. And then now he's blaming the headsets about it, Miz. Bakhtiari for Ingram. I think that's a good trade. Hey, man, you always start high. Whenever that's business 101, man. Business 101. Whenever you're making a trade for any sort of goods, you always start high. Even if it's unimaginable, there's always room for negotiation. Always start high, see what they like, see what they don't like, and negotiate from there. That's what you do. Little advice for any fantasy football owners: always start high. Always self-destruct on the field. It's a common trend. At this point, I'll trade Ingram, Slayton, and a third-round pick for OBJ. No, whoa. OBJ can't stay healthy, man. That man gets hurt every single time he's on the field. Literally. I think he's had like 3 or 4 injuries this season already. And they're all when they're losing games. How ironic. Garrett red zone offense sucks. He never goes to the end zone. Yeah, I know. What's up, John? Change of scenery, he does. Good afternoon, Kid Blue. Tough loss yesterday. This team, I don't know, man. I love Joe Judge, but he needs to. Yeah, I know. He doesn't have that dog mentality. I feel like he's losing it a bit. No, keep OBJ away from. Yeah, everybody keeps talking about that too. But guys, I'm gonna wind up wrapping this up now. Great therapy session stream. I'll try to do more of these eventually, but I'm gonna eat the rest and get ready to go back in and demand justice. Demand justice. Alright? I'm sending somebody to jail today. Alright? That's what I'm doing today. I'm demanding justice. I'm doing my civil duties as a law-abiding citizen. And I'm sending somebody to jail today. So, alright. That's even if I'm being called up, man. It's so depressing in that waiting room. But I'll eat the rest of my sandwich. I thank you guys for joining in. Hit the like button on your way out. Share the stream so people can see it as a pre-recorded. And thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys soon.